How to add a new patient in CIIS. If you need assistance navigating our material, please reach out. In this video, you'll learn how to add a new patient in CIIS. First, navigate to CIIS.state.co.us. Log into the CIIS main application and select your provider/clinic. Remember to always verify your default provider/clinic before you begin to work in CIIS. If you have access to more than one provider and clinic, you can use the drop-down to select the provider and clinic in which you want to work. To search for a patient, you can either select the patient search link in the main header bar or select patients and then choose search in the left menu bar. You will be navigated to the patient search screen. Now let's search for a patient. Search for your patient using a combination of the first 3 letters of the first or last name and the date of birth. If you are struggling to find your patient, pause this video and select the patient search video link that appears in the top right-hand corner. If you don't find the patient you are looking for, after following the instructions in the patient search video, follow the steps below to add a new patient. Note: before adding a new patient to CIIS, it is recommended to exhaust all possible search techniques to prevent the creation of duplicate records. Select the New Patient button located at the bottom of the screen. Complete all the fields with an asterisk, including the patient's last name, first name, date of birth, and sex at birth. Please include any additional information that is available, such as the patient's middle name or initial. Once you have filled out the patient's new screen, select Create. You will be navigated to the patient demographics screen. Note: if there is a possible match, a possible duplicate screen will display. Compare the record you are creating to the possible duplicates that appear. Note: if a duplicate patient record is found, review the How to Identify and Report Patient Duplicates job aid link in the video description. If the new patient you are adding is a match for a possible duplicate, select Demographics from the Action drop-down next to the correct record to ensure the record is up to date. If you determine that the new patient is not a duplicate and does not match the existing record, select Proceed with Create. Please ensure that you fill out the fields under the patient demographics screen, including the required, recommended, and optional fields for patient information. Required: all fields with red asterisks are required. Fill out all required information under the patient information section. Fill out the mailing and physical address. Note: if your patient's mailing and physical address are the same, you can select the Copy Mailing Address to Physical Address or the Copy Physical Address to Mailing Address button for the address to populate in both sections. Note: if an address is not available, check the Address is Unavailable or Temporary checkbox. Enter the patient's ethnicity, race, where up to 5 values can be added. Select the race or sub-race that the patient most closely identifies with. Note that ethnicity for tracking Hispanic or Latino is included in this section. Recommended: fill out the patient's middle name, initial. Enter the patient contact information as thoroughly as possible. Entering a patient's phone number and email address will allow the patient to retrieve their own immunization record through the CIIS Public Portal. See the How to Use the CIIS Public Portal to retrieve your immunization records job aid that is linked in the video description for more information. Note: if the patient is a minor, a contact must be added for the minor's immunization record to be retrieved by the parent and/or guardian through the CIIS Public Portal. Under the gear icon drop-down, select Contacts and add a contact. Be sure to include both a phone number and an email address. Fill out the Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity (SOGI) section. For guidance on asking patients about sexual orientation and gender identity, please select the View SOGI Questions button. Fill out the Disability Information section. The number of disability questions displayed is dependent on the patient's age. Enter the patient's language. Optional. The completion of the remaining fields is optional and should be decided at the discretion of each clinic. Select Update to complete the creation of your new patient and to save the patient's demographic information. Note: the sexual orientation, gender identity, and disability information is considered highly sensitive, so after the Update button is selected, the values entered into these fields will disappear and are no longer visible to CIIS users. A banner will display at the top of the screen indicating that the entry has been saved. If you have questions, please contact the CIIS Help Desk at cdphe.ciis@state.co.us. Thank you.